This is a kind of, shall we say, somewhat of a novel idea. Every day or so, I check the numerical values on my videos to ascertain what has the greatest appeal to the largest number of people. I joke around and say I only have about 12 people watching, but it's not really the case, people. I went over and I made a list of our hottest videos to date. Okay. Well, I'm either going to see or I'm not, one or the other. And I just want to go over with you the number one video that we have to date is called Bare Ass Lake. It's about my family. 7 of us cousins went hunting together. Brazoo, Grand Cache, and we had a time. And this is a story about that. It's not too spiritual, so you're not going to be challenged. You may well be entertained. I'll tell you, my cousin, who has since passed, we called him Uncle D because that's what he told us to call him. Get that? He rode a bucking horse at 72 years of age. Children, I wasn't even got on the horse. Okay, number two. Yeah, this, I'm not sure that this isn't a half shock for me. My lost son, this is where my youngest boy, age 7 or 8, got lost in the mountains under the care of another guy who was not paying attention. And this is how my God, intervened. And this is how my God led me, I'm pretty sure over 2 or 3 hours, down through a mountain valley to find my son Joe. He was 7, 8, or 9. He might have been 8. I don't know if he was 9. He could have been. Not impossible, possibly. And somehow, the creator of this universe brought that little boy through cougar and grizzly country. That boy had started to climb a mountain in order to see where he could try to see where he had come from, where he was going. He was so lost. And my God brought me out into a clearing at the same exact time that my God brought my little boy into the clearing from the far side. And we met in the middle, children. I'm telling you, Bare Ass Lake's not very spiritual, but not everything is spiritual. Bare Ass Lake is number 1. Number 2 is my lost son. Number 3 is a thing that happened at the front of a church in Calgary with a friend of mine. His name's Peter. He died alone in a motel room in Manitoba, going back to see his kid. Something. Had a stroke. Took him 2 or 3 days to die. So much for room service. Probably wouldn't have helped. Your time's up. I'm pretty sure your time then is up. But anyways, I'd gone to the front of the church in Calgary, a good-sized church. 2 First Nations ladies came up and they asked me to pray for them. And you ever watch this, children? You'll never look at child abuse again without the hair on the back of your neck standing up. And you'll have an all-out warfare against those who hurt baby children. I'm still pretty pissy about my brown horse being killed. Stupidity. Number 4. This is a shocker. Well, perhaps it shouldn't be. Number 4 is a video that's 1 minute and 5 seconds long. I mean, it is nearly 100 views. Bear Ass Lake has 151, last count. That's a fair number. Especially when I tell people we only have about 12 people watching. Number 4, dental hygiene van. People, this is an answer to a man who does not want to go to a dental office, who does not want to take half a day and spend it trying to find the stupid office, trying to find a place to park, and then going in and smelling what a dentist office looks like, and listening to the dentist or the dental hygienist, good people. This is the dental hygiene van, an extraordinary professional dental technician, hygienist, who will come to your home. She will back her van right in your laneway, and she'll clean your teeth. She'll whiten them. It's astounding. Absolutely. That's number 4. Who says your video has to be long to be good? Children. Oh, children. Number 5 is the black-haired warrior woman. Don't watch this one, children. If you are feeble of heart, don't watch this one. If you haven't been watching TV for a while. Compared to television, this is pretty bland, pretty tame. But compared to sitting in church for 40 years, thinking that life isn't a bit rough, thinking that abuse still doesn't go on. Black-haired warrior woman. As a 12-year-old child, she was sold by her parents to a rich rancher down near High River. This is purely fictional. I know some idiots think that half the stuff I say isn't true. Well, it is true. But this, I truly state, is heart true, not situation circumstance true. This right here, black-haired warrior woman, the Lord and I wrote that. It was my first one. I reviewed it 5 times in my mind. I do not write notes because, well, you can tell that. I mean, just today I said something about Ireland and the I can get Ireland and Scotland mixed up. I did today. I could care less. Irish and Scots are so close to the same heart attitude. Scots don't know how to make whiskey quite as well as the Irish, but then it's not that good for you anyways, I suppose. If you have guts, I mean, listen, children, don't you ever let any of your kids watch the black-haired warrior woman. But that was written so that the first half was at the point at which warrior woman and hero kissed goodbye. And he headed for the mountains because that rich rancher was going to kill the rich rancher's own wife, who happened to have fallen in love with Hero. And Hero fathered a son. And that lady raised that son on her own. And Hero did not come back until God told him that warrior woman had passed. But that story was written 2 parts, right? First part, up to the point where Hero heads for the mountains and the black-haired warrior woman, the most beautiful woman I ever met. You think I imagined that woman? I didn't. She is bar none the most beautiful woman that I ever had the privilege and the honor of meeting. The day that Hero finds out that his warrior woman has died and gone on, there's 27 years in between. There are 27 years, 27 stories that are yet to be told. One from a man's standpoint, I take care of that pretty handily, Sonny, and y'all just better realize this old man is surely a man. But that warrior woman that I met, I'm not writing her part, I can't. I've spent my whole life trying to understand women because my mother, I loved her so, and she taught me to be a man. And I mean, she taught me how to fight and everything. I pray for that warrior woman every day. I pray that the time will come soon when she'll come back and we can start those 27 videos that should be about an hour long from each of us. And they have every potential for becoming a TV series. Imagine the black-haired warrior woman stands against child abuse and against hypocrisy. Telling you, grave potential. Okay, last video. Astounding video. It's called My Son's Miracle. That's my oldest boy, Scott. My lost son, that's my younger boy, Joe. Both true men. My son's miracle took place in 92. I'm telling you. We had a phone call from Olds Hospital. Surgeon said, Jim, you want to see your son before he passes. You better come. His mom, mother of my 2 sons, we were working together. Our marriage was long since done. We got to the hospital. My son's neck was broken. His skull was crushed. The surgeon showed me the x-ray. I had at least 40 broken bones by 92. Just ribs. Oh, my knuckles, my hands. 92. My left shoulder, my left arm, my elbow, my right wrist. I know how to read an x-ray. That doctor showed me the crushed, the broken spine. The neurosurgeon in Calgary, little twit, could have reached out and touched that boy. He showed me how crushed my son's skull was. Then he sent us back to Olds because the hospital was full. You've got to watch this, children. You have to watch this. I refuse to call things miracles unless I really truly believe they are. This is a miracle. 20 hours after my boy was thrown off a catwalk by an idiot who was having fun, he hit the controls, jumped the catwalk sideways, blew my son right off the catwalk. Catwalk had handrails down the side, 42 inches, legal. Don't need to be tied off. You're just walking across the catwalk. The next morning, my boy, Big Scott Martin, woke up from a coma. We had taken him back to Olds. My big boy got out of bed and walked in and used the toilet. His little girlfriend had shown up in the morning. Well, I think so. Their lives, not mine. I don't tell people how to live their lives. I don't appreciate having people tell me either. My boy decided he is hungry. And he and that little girl, they left the hospital. Death's door, to walking out of the hospital with his neck healed and his skull healed in 20 hours. You want to talk about God? I do. Guarantee you. So children, here it is. The hottest videos that God's allowed me the privilege and the honor of experiencing the living of them and then retelling them in front of the camera. Number 1, Bear Ass Lake. Number 2, my lost son. Number 3, forgiveness. 2 First Nations ladies at the front of a church. Number 4, hard to believe, it's a dental commercial. A dental hygiene commercial. It has nearly 100. The black-haired warrior woman. It is my prayer one day that woman, that you'll get to know who she is. And I'm sure you will agree with me. She is the most beautiful woman, definitely, that I ever met. My son's miracle. Listen, I really appreciate that you even care anything about what God and I have been trying to do here. You have to understand. I'm actually shy. Hard to believe. I'm doing this because I love God and I care for people. For baby children who are abused, have been abused. For the women that grow up in that abuse and try to survive. And in my mind's eye, I see a typical baby girl who has been abused, who is growing up to be an adult, possibly with some of her own children. But I see that lady over in a corner, sitting on the floor, holding her face in her hands, weeping. I want you to know, not everybody that weeps has tears that go down on the outside. many of those tears are on the inside. There's one that I just got on, and I think it's a video that's going to go long and hard, and that is French Girl, Robin's Donuts, Airdrie, 92 or 6, whatever. That one's going to go places. Children, God has given you a chance, the honor of learning of Him. I'm trying to give you, some people may call it comic relief. Doesn't matter what they call it. I'm trying to give you a chance to learn that God loves you. And He does. I've said for a while I have about 70 videos to do. Well, right now we have 30 on YouTube. I bet I have another 70 yet to go. And children, I've tried diligently not to lie over the last many years. And I've tried diligently not to exaggerate. And I'm telling you, these are true. This is not BS. These are true. There's people who are narcissistic. They are themselves. They are their own gods. They may not like what I do. I don't care. There are Christians I know chewed me out pretty hard already. That black-haired warrior woman. I didn't write it for Christians. I recorded it for people who want to know, can God change a real man, a real woman's life? He can. And if you give him a chance, He will. So I just really challenge you. You take a long, hard look at these. Bare Ass Lake, if you haven't watched it, you should. And if you have watched it, a good book is well worth a second look. There is a thing on the government schools. I thought it was called War Horse Snow. I think it's Indian Horse or something. I watched that about little First Nations kids that were taken away from the parents and put in government schools with religious people, denigrating them. Not all of that sect, religion, denigrate children, but too many of them have. I had to watch that movie. I watched it 6 times before I got to the end without wanting to puke. But I finally made her through. And all that I do, it is to stand against abuse of children, of people, of animals. You may have heard the one, I can't even remember which one, it's something about the heart. Introspection, I think it was 2. Where my horse was killed because It was my horse. I don't understand people. I mean, I don't. So, take a look at these children and pray. And pray. Pray and say, God, if you know of anyone who I could call or send a text to who would benefit from what you're trying to do through this crazy old Irishman, just say, let me know. I pray every day for that black-haired warrior woman. You might consider praying. I'd sure like to finish those 27 years of video in the black-haired warrior woman. Listen, children, take a shot at this stuff. You accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? Good. You remember your roots, will you? Remember where you come from. It'll help you remember where you're going and in whom you trust. Not me. But you better be trusting in God and His Son, Jesus Christ, or you're in deep stuff. So, hey, here. You're going to live till you die. Only you can determine what that means for you. Only you can determine where you're going to spend eternity. No one else. You. You're going to humble yourself and pray. You're going to accept Jesus Christ's sacrifice on the cross for your sin. Or are you too religious? Are you too narcissistic? Or has God touched your heart enough that your heart has become tender through the trials and stresses of living, and you choose to reach out? And as that lady who, in the crowded around Jesus and reached out and touched the hem of his garment, and Jesus felt power leave him. It went into her and healed her. She had been bleeding for, 12 years. Are you going to reach out beyond your hurt? Beyond where you've been abused? Beyond where you've tried to hide? A lot of abused women hide. They tried to disappear into the woodwork. They try to make themselves look so bad that no one will want them, and thus no one will hurt them. It's a way of protecting themselves. Others go the other way. They become strong. A warrior woman, I haven't had much time to talk to her, hardly any, but a lot of times people will become strong, powerful, and their job in their mind is to protect the little one that lives within them. We all have a responsibility to protect the little one. Question is, are we doing that? Children say the strangest things. We just covered a whole lot of that. Solomon said to his oldest son, live, eat, drink, and be merry. You're going to die, and you're going to meet God. And the one I like it all. I just love what God is doing. If you cannot learn to hear the Lord through Scripture, through living, through praying, through talking with Him, to Him, but with Him, just talking to someone, that's not going to get a resolution to anything. Well, you're surely going to lose the trail, and you may not be able to find your way back onto it unless you fall upon your face, not literally, and ask God to forgive you, and I mean literally. You have but one life to live. Are you going to do it? Are you going to live it to the full? I don't know how many more stories I have. I tell you, I don't know how many more times this year I can get fired. I don't know how many more fat men will just try to beat the ever-loving hell out of me and yet not touch a hand to me. 280-pound idiot. I'm telling you, children, pray. Pray for yourselves. Pray for your children. Pray for that black-haired warrior woman. Pray for me. I'd like to leave a mark in this world for good. God bless you. Eh? God bless you. You remember the sinner's prayer. If you don't, just turn on a video. I think this is 31. God bless, eh? God bless you. Make your day count. God bless. Serious. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to have a bit of your time. Thank you.